welcome to Unicorn Poop Knits, the channel where I show you how to make whimsical knitted creations. In today's episode, I'll be doing another knit chat tea, and it's a very special knit chat tea. All of the knit chat teas are special in my opinion, I love doing them, but this one is extra special because I'm going to be doing 15 knitting facts about me. Before I get started with that, today I'm working on a panda. Yes, I am making another panda. The link for my first panda video will be up here. I'm making another panda because my friend who gave me the Christmas tree brooch for Christmas said that I should make another panda and make it a lot fatter, give it smaller ears, and then I also thought I could add a snout to it because that would make it look more realistic. So I'm making another one, and already it's a lot fatter. Like, this is the head. Right here, this is the head, and you can see the body is already a lot fatter. And at the same time, I'll be drinking this jasmine green tea. Let's see if I can do this without spilling it on myself like I have the past couple times. Okay, here we go. Oh, nerve-wracking. Okay, I'm doing this carefully. Yay! I didn't spill it on myself. That's so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drink this tea. It's very good, and I let it cool down a lot this time so I'm not burning myself. Yeah, I did that too, very smart. That's so good. And also, I finished these socks! The turquoise socks, I finished them. Well, anyway, both the socks are finished. They're very cozy, and that tutorial will be coming later this week.
I feel lost late at night in the dark. At least when I'm not with you, it's like without you I just fall apart, and I don't know what I'm heading into.
And also, I've still been doing the Fab You Re challenge on Instagram, which is really fun. So since I last posted a knit chat tea, I've done day 14, love. I had a few photos from work where my friends gave me chocolates, my friends who are also my co-workers, and my boss gave me some chocolates. He gave everyone chocolates. He's so nice. And I wore a little arrow headband, so it looked like there was an arrow through my head. It was so silly. Everyone looked silly that day. It was so fun. Like, some people were wearing these antenna headbands that had little hearts on the top of them. Oh my gosh, it was so cute and so silly and so fun. And then the next day, day 15, was hands. So I did another photo of me knitting these socks that I'm wearing. And then day 16 was inside. So I put on the self timer on my phone so I could take a nice photo of myself in the break room at work. And then yesterday, I believe. Yes, yesterday was day 17, color. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just took a photo of my yarn stash because that's pretty colorful. So that's the Fab You Re challenge update. And now I'm going to do the main part of the video, 15 knitting facts about me. So, knitting fact number 1. I started knitting at the age of 7. My grandmother taught me the basics. Several of my mother's friends helped me overcome obstacles, and as an adult, I taught myself more skills, such as lace, cables, and sweater and sock knitting with books. I learned it through books, so I was able to really improve my skills as an adult. Number 2, my favorite stitch is stockinette stitch. That's because it's simple and the results are beautiful. I also like cables because there are many different ways to do it, and it's very easy, but the results look complex, and people think it's so hard, but it's really not. It's the easiest thing. And I also like ribbing and welts. because I love playing with different textures in knitting. Number 3, my least favorite technique is any kind of color knitting. I do like the results, which are stunning, but it requires a lot of concentration, and so I can't watch TV, I can't talk to anybody, I really have to concentrate. The last time I did color knitting was in 2015, when I designed and knitted a Fair Isle sweater for my ex. I would like to do at least 2 color knitting projects this year. I would like to design a sweater with teddy bears and hearts and stripes. On Pinterest, I found a lot of different teddy bear Fair Isle patterns that I would like to try out, that I would like to incorporate into a sweater, and I think that would be really fun. And then if I add hearts and stripes, oh, it would just be so pretty and so cute! And you know I love cute things. I would also like to learn how to do intarsia, which is basically painting a picture with knitting, and I would also like to learn steeking, which is cutting open a circular piece of knitting and securing the edge in place to avoid fraying. I have always wanted to learn these techniques, but I find them daunting at the same time. They seem really intimidating and scary, and I know I should just do it, but I also know it's going to be a challenge, so I'm a little excited and nervous about it at the same time, if you know what I mean. And number 4, my favorite kind of knitting projects by far is sweaters, which you can probably tell if you watched my last knit chat tea, which was my whole sweater collection. I have 12 sweaters that I've knitted in the past 7 years that I've kept that are in really good condition. Number 5, I made my first sweater when I was 19. It was roving yarn, so when I kept making mistakes, as you inevitably do on your first sweater, and ripping out my knitting, the yarn was falling apart! It was falling apart and I was in tears. My mother was not happy with me. She was saying, seriously, you're crying about knitting? If she's watching this, she'll be nodding her head like, yes, that was ridiculous. So when I finally finished the sweater, it was too loosely knitted at the top, and it was a top-down sweater, so I had to rip out the whole thing and start over again. It was crazy. And then when I knitted it up again, the waist was too tight, so I just gave that sweater away. This is number 6. I made my second sweater in France when I was 20 years old. The pattern came from a French magazine, and this one came out great. And I kept it for many years. Eventually I gave it away because it was too warm, but it was a really great sweater, but it was too warm, almost like a coat. Number 7. This one's kind of funny. I think it's funny anyway. I made my first hat when I was 16. I used yarn that was extra bulky, and I used huge needles. And it came out so huge, there was no way it could fit a human head. My mother said it could fit a large dog, like a Saint Bernard, and my grandmother was laughing so much. She found it so funny, and I was sad about it at the time. I was thinking, oh, I put so much work into this and no one can wear it, and I'm so sad. Oh, but everyone else thought it was funny, and now I think it's funny too, looking back on it. Number 8. I made my first pair of socks when I was 21. They were Fair Isle, and I was worried my gauge was too tight and they wouldn't fit, but they came out great, and they're the best pair of socks I've ever made. Even today, when I make socks, they don't come out as good as that pair did, and I really wish they would. I'm really working hard on it. After about a year, these socks wore out and had massive holes in the heels, and I couldn't figure out how to darn them, and it was really sad. So I just tossed them. I wish I hadn't tossed them. I wish I knew how to darn back then, but I didn't. These days, if a pair of socks wears holes in them, I'm really going to try to darn them, and hopefully it works out this time. Anytime I've tried it in the past, it just doesn't work. It comes out weird, and then I just have to throw the knitted pair of socks away, which is really sad, but I hope I can figure that out. Number 9. I have never knitted entrelac, but I want to learn this year. I have a book and I want to knit a sweater from the book, and if you watch my knit chat tea from New Year's, you can see which sweater that is. It's so beautiful. I've wanted to knit it for years, and I'm finally going to do it this year. That's my goal, at least. Number 10. The fastest I have ever knitted a sweater was in 2 weeks, and the longest it's ever taken me to knit a sweater was 6 months. And that's the gold sweater. That is really fine yarn where I used size 0 needles. It took forever. Number 12. I prefer to knit with yarns that are on the finer side most of the time because they are more affordable and I find that they have a nicer drape. Number 13. I used to crochet a lot of stuffed animals in my late teens and early 20s, and when I was 18, I sold my stuffed animals for a non-profit organization called Parents of Murdered Children at a booth at a county fair. Number 14. I have never sold my knitting or crochet for profit, although multiple people have told me I should. It's just so much work, and people are used to paying relatively low prices for goods. I couldn't justify selling a stuffed animal for $20 when it took me between 5 and 30 hours to make it, depending on the stuffed animal. I do want to pay myself fairly, so that's why I've avoided it. I wanted to do a YouTube channel instead because I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel and I can show people how to make it themselves. And it's a fun hobby and I get to share it, and I really love this. I don't plan to sell anything anytime soon. I just plan on continuing with my full-time job and with this YouTube project on the side. Number 15. Ou dois-je dire numéro 15? Oui, je sais parler français et je peux lire les patrons de tricot. Quand j'ai tricoté mon deuxième chandail à l'âge de 20 ans, le patron venait d'une magazine française que j'ai acheté en France. Et voilà, je sais parler français, je sais lire en français, je sais lire les patrons en français. Et voilà. So that's it for this Knit Chat tea. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos. It really does help the channel, and I'm so grateful to all 12 of you who are subscribed at this moment, and everyone who watches, thank you so much. Stay whimsical, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!